Sound waves and light particles. Why do they call them sound waves? Why do they call them light particles? Sound waves, waves as in water, corresponds to the human soul. That's where you get your emotion, energy in motion, which creates waves. It stirs up waves. To do what? To move something. To move a ship or something that's on the water. That is the fuel. That's the soul. Water corresponds with the soul. And then you've got light particles. Light is fire. Fire corresponds with the spirit, the intellect, the ego, the will, the part of you that takes action. That's the masculine aspect of it. You've got the feminine, which is the soul, and the masculine, which is the spirit. Light particles. What does that mean, light particles? Well, light particles simply means that it has to do with logic, not emotion. Logic, you see things as separate, so hence particles, because you're seeing something that's bouncing off it. You don't really see light, you only see the reflection of light. So you're seeing light particles as opposed to sound waves, which sound waves are literally touching you because the vibration that you hear, these frequencies, there's an organ inside in your ear that is surrounded by water, and it creates this little vibrations right behind the ear. That corresponds directly to the soul because it is the element of water. Water is feeling, love, desire, compassion, sympathy, empathy. It's magnetic, coheses. It's feminine. It pulls things towards it. Water cleanses also. Water in motion is a river. And in order to use that momentum to create power, you have dams on a river. This dam, it controls the flow of the currency in order for you to generate some kind of power. That's why music moves you. When you hear something that's emotional, you say, it moved me, or it touched my heart. That's what water does, it touches. Fire doesn't touch, it pushes and it radiates. It sees things as separate, to be self-contained. This is one thing, and that is one thing. I'm a man, I'm myself, I'm self-contained. I need my space, woman. I don't want to spoon with you right now. You know what I mean? Whereas the feminine water wants to always pull everything together and hug and hold it in as one. When we have a blockage in our emotions, or there is a imbalance between emotions and proper use of the willpower, we get like this blockage, this stagnation. When you have stagnation or stagnant water, you can't drink water that is of a swamp, because the swamp grows green shit on it. It's no good to drink. Moving water in a river is always safe to drink. When you don't use your emotions properly, you don't have enough humility. You can't admit you're wrong or make a mistake. Because if you admit you make a mistake and you accept it, then you can grow and change and overcome it. But if you don't, you have too much pride that puts a barrier on your growth. And so what happens is eventually it builds up and builds up until the dam overflows and it breaks and you get a flood. And that's when you break down and you cry. You know, I'm sorry, you know, please forgive me. I didn't know I was, you know, and you ask for forgiveness. That is how powerful emotions are, and water and the soul. The soul is what feeds the spiritual body, like water to a flower. Love has to do with the balance between the spirit and the soul. Love is a verb, right? When you show or give an act of love, like you give an act of selflessness and kindness, the effect of that act is the feeling you get of love. You feel nice. And so love is two parts. It's an act and then a feeling. Water has three basic phases. It's got liquid, solid, and a gas. Liquid is its natural form. A solid, though, is using love as a tool of manipulation to physically own it. Water is the most powerful out of all the elements. It can behave like air, which is communication. When water is a vapor, it's like going into the air, hence it's like air. So the soul can communicate, and also the soul, it can become like earth. And earth is substance, like owning land or a diamond or physical money. Love, emotion, feeling, you could use that as a weapon. There's Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. 4th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house. Cancer is ruled by the moon. Moon is the soul. 4th house, Cancer, that's I feel, its motto. It's basically the soul. It's feeling. I feel rules the chest and the stomach. Then you've got Scorpio. That's I desire. Rules the sex organs and the bladder. And then you've got Pisces, which rules the feet. And Pisces is communication with the soul. communicating to God through the heart. The 8th house, Scorpio. I desire, that's ice. Using sex as a commodity. Trapped in the flesh, because it's number 8. You know, reincarnation in the flesh for eternity. It's not resurrection, that's Pisces. The 8th house, Scorpio, ice, is the serpent. You have two numbers, basically. A Cancer is the 6 and a 9. 9 and 6, they're flipped inverted. And so if you put those two numbers together, you get 8, which is a chain link. Because when you have sex with somebody, that spiritually bonds you together and you create a child. Scorpio is also fixed water. You know, ice is also money, using sex as a commodity. If you lust after the flesh, when you have this sexual energy of man and woman merging together, that is an alchemical transformation. It is a gateway. You're opening up a door. It's like the time of day of dusk and dawn, or spring and fall. It's an alchemical transitional period. Dusk and dawn, what is it? Well, it's not day and it's not night. So what is it? It's a void, actually. That's what the Chinese Taoists call it, the void. That's why your sexual energy is so important to hold on to, and it's so difficult today when you think about it. Guys, what's the one thing on your mind 24/7? Apple bottom jeans, boots. What the fuck? The whole club looking at her. And you think about it, look at it logically. Us guys, we are in love with shapes. Oh, look at the shape on that booty. I mean, look at the angle on that isosceles triangle. Ooh. I mean, the hypotenuse is doesn't that just drive you nuts? I mean, maron. That's what it is. When you're worshiping the flesh, you're stuck. You're solidifying your soul. You're trapping it. Not in love with the individual. I mean, you're just in love with the shape of them and their appearance and all the materialistic, cold, dead things about the person. Who cares if they're good at this or that? They're an intelligent, sweet person. Are they hot? Do they have, the brick house measurements? 24, 36, 28, or something. Whatever. You might as well just get a freaking blow-up doll. I mean, for those of you who don't know that we're in the Aquarian age, that's what it's all about now. Sex, do what thou wilt. Well, I wilt be trying to get me some booty tonight. That's why money comes from water. It's the materialization of the soul, literally, because what do we do today? How do we say I love you today? We buy people shit. Christmas, what is that about? Really, it's like a ritual to indoctrinate our children into accepting that love comes with a price. Look at all these toys I bought you. Anyway, so death and rebirth, the 8th house, Scorpio. When you have sex, when you hear people have sex, they don't sound like they're having pleasure, do they? They kind of sound like they're dying. Sound like somebody's dying in there. Oh my god! Elizabeth, this is the big one! They sound like they're fucking dying, or they're in pain, like they're crying. Why are you crying? That's why it's confusing, and that's why it's also dirty almost when you think about it. I mean, honestly, logically, think about it. Do people sound like they are in pain? Why does it sound like you're dying? Because a part of you is dying, literally. Your sexual energy is connected to your immune system. So when you have sex, you spill that sexual fluid. You are getting rid of, physically all your vitamins, but also this energy. But since our paradigm is something totally different than what we really are, we can't see that. So, sexual energy, water, that's why water is so powerful. That's why money is the root of all evil. We're made to have sex all the time. Same thing with what we eat and what we do. I mean, why do we eat food? Well, because it tastes good. Even though half of the food out there is nothing but feces with smell taken out of it and an added flavor. And that's really what it is for your body. It's shit. It's poison. But it tastes good. Yeah, but you realize that that's poop? But you're not hearing me. It tastes good. They love that lie. Lie to me some more. I love it. Love it when you lie to me. Talk dirty to me. You've got these two elements. You've got, say, water and fire. Two triangles meet. It looks like an hourglass, or an 8, right? You got the space in between. That's a gateway, just like the Star of David. This is the sexual union. Well, what this is also the hex, the cube. So we've got this connection here. The hourglass, 8. 8th house of Scorpio, which is basically Cancer and Leo. Spirit and soul. This is Cancer's sigil, 6 and 9, and this is Leo. Leo looks like a little sperm, doesn't he? This is the sun. This is the moon. When you merge these two together, the 6 and 9, you get what? Figure 8. Leo is the 5th house, the sun, the spirit. Cancer, 4th house, the moon, the soul. 8, the 8th house of Scorpio, is fixed water. That is water masquerading as the earth element, or transformed into the earth element, which is material substance. You can hold water in your hands. What is that? Ice cube. And the 8th house is Scorpio, sex, I desire. It's always about the lower chakras. So you're transforming water, which is feeling and emotion and love and the soul, and it's getting stuck, meaning stagnation. When you have water as stagnant, any disease is based and caused by stagnation, because when you're dead, you're 6 feet in the ground, no longer moving, you're flatlined. No vibration. Prostitution. And that's basically what it is. We're all prostitutes. Doesn't necessarily mean sex. It means you are selling, or you are putting your love and you're attaching physical object to it. So you are solidifying your soul, so to speak. You are making your soul, making it manifest, or like the earth element, which if anything that's physical will die, killing your soul.